This is the craziest f***ing interview I've ever done.
He doesn't hold grudges. He holds memories sharp and indexed. Mel Brooks can recall, beat for beat, the actor who sandbagged a joke, the star who fought the rhythm, the genius who thought the movie should orbit them. In Brooks' world, chaos is welcome only if it's controlled. Precision is sacred. Trust is oxygen. Break that trust and he won't shout, won't sulk, won't write an op-ed. He'll do something far colder. He'll never call again. For more than 60 years, from The Producers and Young Frankenstein to Blazing Saddles, High Anxiety, Spaceballs, and History of the World, Brooks didn't merely cast actors. He engineered machines, comedic engines with timing as tight as a snare. Everyone in the ensemble was a cog, whirring, meshing. If one squeaked, he replaced it mid-spin. Some actors broke the rule. Some ignored it. A few never sensed there was a rule. And Mel? He remembered every single one. Below, 7 names. Not because they lacked talent, most were brilliant, but because their talent arrived with static, ego, resistance, or a refusal to dance to the tempo the conductor set. Consider this a map of the doors Brooks closed and never reopened. 1. Chevy Chase, the laugh that wouldn't listen. Studios adored him. Test audiences did, too. In the 80s, Chevy Chase was the most bankable deadpan in town, and executives floated his name into Brooks's office more than once. The biggest near miss, Dark Helmet in Spaceballs. On paper, perfect. In practice, Mel's instincts screamed no. Why? Because Brooks' first commandment is ensemble above all. A Brooks scene is a relay hand, the joke. Take the joke. Keep the baton moving. The lore around town was that Chase didn't pass batons. He spiked them. He's not acting, Brooks is said to have told a friend. He's waiting. He wants the room to stop so he can prove he's the smartest person in it. Brooks wanted a player who could submit to the bit and turbocharge it. He chose Rick Moranis. Result: Dark Helmet is a masterclass in aggressive stupidity that serves the movie. Chase wasn't blacklisted. He just never got the invitation. In Mel's universe, that's the louder verdict. 2. Harvey Korman, brilliant and draining. On screen, he's molten gold. Watch Blazing Saddles or High Anxiety, and you'll see Harvey Korman hold frame after frame like a one-man storm system. Off-screen, the weather could be unpredictable. Korman arrived from the Carol Burnett Show, where improv reigned and detours were embraced. Brooks sets weren't lawless. They were tight, the blocking a grid, the beats pre-timed like music. During High Anxiety, the tension crept in. Korman questioned the blocking, the pause, the micro beat before a turn of the head. None of it was mutiny. All of it added drag. Harvey wants to be the director, Brooks reportedly sighed. I already have that job. They finished the film, and Korman is terrific. Then, nothing. No dramatic banishment, just the quietest punishment in show business, no next call, not anger exhaustion. 3. Frank Langella, the wrong Dracula for the right joke. There's a version of Dracula that smolders in velvet and candlelight. Frank Langella had played that count to raves on Broadway, tall, regal, a cathedral of seriousness. When Brooks developed Dracula, dead and loving it, someone slid Langella's name across the table. He looked perfect. That was the problem. Brooks wasn't staging a Gothic opera. He wanted the ballerina of idiocy text played straight while the floor fell away. Early rehearsal exposed the gap. Langella treated the lines like scripture, not springboards. Mel tossed him a new gag, a dramatic setup collapsing into a pratfall. Langella paused and asked evenly, "Do you want me to mock the text?" "No," Brooks said after a beat. "I want you to survive it." By week's end, Langella was gone. No tantrum, no press note. Enter Leslie Nielsen, an actor with monk-level discipline for playing nonsense as if it were Shakespeare. The movie found its gear. The lesson: Brooks doesn't need solemnity. He needs commitment to foolishness at a surgical tempo. 4. Jerry Lewis applause over collaboration. Bright idea from the money men. Pair 2 titans, Mel Brooks and Jerry Lewis, and watch the marquee print itself. A dinner was arranged. According to those who heard the story later, Lewis launched into a 15-minute monologue about American comedy's future and barely paused to let oxygen into the room. Brooks listened, smiled, paid the check. He didn't want a partner, he later quipped in private. He wanted applause. That's a sin in Mel's church. His best films are democracy disguised as anarchy, everybody lifting, nobody freeloading. The Brooks-Lewis project died not with a fight, but a shrug. The collaboration that never happened because the conversation never started. 5. Gene Wilder. The Silent Fracture. This one hurts. Gene Wilder isn't just a name in Mel's credits. He's an artery. Together they detonated comedy. The Producers, Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein, and then a hairline crack. Wilder had another script and wanted Brooks to produce and, crucially, to bless Gene as director. Brooks, fiercely protective of tone, reportedly balked. He thinks he's ready, he told a confidant. He's not. Wilder took the no as betrayal, not mentorship. No tabloids, no public feud. Just the cold, echoing thing that happens between brothers who won't say the one sentence that dissolves pride. They reconciled, later, gently. But they never made another picture together. In a Brooks story, timing is everything. In real life, it can be the thing you never get back. 6. Madeline Khan, the muse who walked away. If Brooks' films have a perfume, Madeline Khan distilled it. Intelligence wrapped around lunacy. Soprano wit with a dagger. Lily Von Stupp in Blazing Saddles may be the single greatest slow burn ever put to film. But even great marriages fight about money, time, and credit. By the late 72nds, schedules and expectations started sparking. Khan was exacting about material, about scenes built to showcase what she did better than anyone alive. Brooks was conducting an orchestra and sometimes needed the violin to play supporting harmony. During late-stage negotiations around projects after high anxiety, sources in the crew remembered a tone shift, less teasing, more edge. Nothing tabloid, worthy just a sense that the spell had weakened. She did History of the World, Part 1, and killed as Empress Nympho, but the once automatic default, Madeline First, wasn't automatic anymore. They remained affectionate in public. The phone just rang less. In Mel's ledger, that's a verdict. 7. Zero Mostel volcanic genius, scorched earth. The word force is overused. It was accurate for Zero Mostel. Without him, the Producers doesn't detonate the way it does. He could bend gravity on cue. He could also, by most accounts, bend a set's energy until it creaked. Brooks loved him, feared him a little, and learned to direct around the weather. With Zero, every day could be a miracle or a siege, mood swinging, volume in the red, the line between improvisation and insubordination growing thin. The film got made. The performance is immortal. Brooks' thank you was eternal. His calculation was practical. You don't invite a lightning strike to every picnic. After the Producers, their paths uncrossed professionally, not bitterness, self-preservation. Why these 7? Because each broke a Brooks law. Chase refused the ensemble pulse. Korman added drag to a machine tuned to milliseconds. Langella brought solemnity to a joke that needed holy foolishness. Lewis wanted worship, not rhythm. Wilder mistook caution for disloyalty and left a silence no punchline could heal. Khan needed the spotlight's angle. Brooks needed the whole stage lit. Mostel brought volcanic power, and after the eruption, ash. None of this is about talent. Mel Brooks loves difficult brilliance. He's built a career corralling it. What he will not abide is anti-tempo. The Brooks set is a metronome in a hurricane. If you can hear the click under the wind, you're family for life. If you can't or won't, he won't argue. He'll simply stop making you part of the sentence. People often look at Mel Brooks's movies and see pure chaos, flying cows, collapsing castles, blind Frankenstein monsters, tap dancing in top hats. But anyone who has ever worked with him knows the truth. Brooks doesn't create chaos. He engineers it. His comedy isn't random. It's architecture, built on timing so precise it borders on musical. A Mel Brooks gag only works if the actor can do 3 impossible things at once. Believe the moment with Shakespearean sincerity, pace the lines like a musician counting beats in their bones, and then At the exact second someone else's joke ignites, step aside and give them the frame. That, more than anything, separates the actors Mel adored from the ones he quietly erased. Rick Moranis, John Candy, Madeline Khan, Cloris Leachman, Gene Wilder, Marty Feldman, these weren't just funny performers, they were generous ones. Watch any Brooks scene closely, and you can literally see the breath choreography. Inhale as your partner lands the laugh, exhale when it's your turn, pivot, glide, let go. It's slapstick as ballet, a dance with banana peels and brilliance. And the moment an actor resists, the rhythm tightens when the scene needs looseness, pulls focus when the movie needs flow, treats the comedy like a personal showcase instead of a team sport. Brooks doesn't shout, doesn't scold. He simply replaces the gear that squeaks. That's the secret behind the coldest word Mel Brooks ever learned. It isn't no, it's next. No tantrum, no ego battle, no dramatic blow-ups leaked to the press. Just a clean, almost surgical cut. Hollywood loves spectacle, emotional meltdowns, and backstage betrayal. But Brooks? He loves results. If you step out of sync, he won't punish you. He'll rebuild the scene without you, the same way a great editor removes a few bad frames to protect the entire film. And the machine keeps moving because the machine, the comedy, is always bigger than any individual actor. Even after 70 years of filmmaking, Mel Brooks still speaks a strange, beautiful cinematic language, total lunacy spoken with total sincerity. His comedies roar because he demands respect for the ridiculous. He insists that the silliest joke be treated with reverence, the dumbest pun delivered with dignity, the wildest slapstick played absolutely straight. That's why his movies endure. They weren't just funny, they were crafted with integrity. And the 7 actors he quietly cut loose? Every one of them had talent. Some had brilliance. But they stepped into a universe where the first commandment is simple. Serve the joke. Feel the rhythm. Honor the absurdity. Because in a Brooks film, the moment you ask whether the gag mocks the text, you've already lost. It doesn't mock anything. It protects it. It elevates it. It saves it. If you loved uncovering the hidden rules, the sharp memories, and the untold stories behind Mel Brooks's genius, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Tell us which actor shocked you the most and who you think Mel Brooks might have secretly forgiven but never admitted. Your reactions keep these Hollywood stories alive, and there's plenty more madness, brilliance, and behind-the-scenes truth still to come.